How is Hillary 2016? Just give me one thing going to be different from 2008.
Well, I think we've seen already that it's going to be much more focused on the Obama coalition. If you look at her video, it was full of young people and minorities, gays and lesbians. So she's obviously trying to maintain the coalition that got Obama elected twice. But I think what's most interesting is that the whole style of her campaign is different than last time around. And she seems to be pushing against the notion that she is the inevitable nominee, that she's entitled to the nomination. That was basically her approach last time around. And as we all remember, it ended in disaster.
It did end in disaster, and of course, no nomination. Josh, what about, though, give me the juicy stuff. What about the infighting in her campaign in 2008? I mean, weren't people, like, leaking emails, biting each other behind each other's backs? I mean, how is she going to change that around this time?
Yeah, well, this is what I wrote about in Businessweek this week. The irony is that last time around, Clinton made her main qualification the idea that she could do the job from day one. That was the line she used to say to take a kind of jab at Obama's inexperience. And the irony, as I write about, is that she actually proved to be a terrible chief executive. Her campaign devolved into backfighting, different strategies, and the whole thing sort of collapsed. So the big question, I think, this time around is, will Clinton be able to function as an effective executive for her own campaign, or when things get tough, will it kind of collapse again the way it did last time? And that's the one big question I don't think anybody can answer yet.
Well, didn't she hire John Podesta to help stop that, though?
Well, she has taken a number of steps that indicate that she gets what went wrong last time. She hired John Podesta, a very powerful, respected Democrat, as her campaign chairman. And she also hired a lot of veterans of the no-drama Obama campaign, including her campaign manager, Robbie Mook. But so far, it's been smooth sailing. The only thing people are writing about in the Hillary Clinton campaign is what she ordered at Chipotle. She hasn't encountered any real resistance that would have put her campaign under pressure and tested whether or not they can function in a difficult environment.
You know, do you give her credit for that, Josh? I mean, look, she's the most watched and followed.
For eating at Chipotle?
Well, yeah, exactly. For like, A, you know, being an everyday American and eating at Chipotle.
Bravo.
But B, also being able to give that element of surprise, right? I mean, she must be the most followed woman around these days.
Well, you know, she has a lot of newer veteran Obama advisors who understand social media. They understand the news cycle. They know that reporters like me are really tired of covering Hillary Clinton campaign, that we're a little bit jaded, and so they need to do things to surprise us, to shake things up. And I think obviously the first 5 days have been an example that they can do that. We had this like nationwide, I don't know what you want to call it, manhunt to follow her from gas station to Chipotle to whatever. And, and we're writing about that, which I suppose is better and different than writing about what her campaign is doing wrong. But as I say in the new issue of Businessweek, I don't think we're going to know really whether or not she's fixed her problems until she runs into some kind of meaningful competition. And it looks like that may not happen until next summer when there's a Republican nominee to go up against her.
Okay, and Josh, finally, how does she leverage Bill?
That's a great question. I think the biggest management challenge of all is how do you manage Bill Clinton? Because so far nobody's been able to figure out a way to do it. He was a great help to President Obama in 2012. You remember he gave that wonderful speech at the Charlotte Convention.
That's right,
It was better, frankly, than Obama's speech. But he was a terrible detriment to Hillary last time around. He was bitter when she lost. He offended a lot of Democrats. He insulted Obama. So she needs to figure out a way to marshal him and sort of put the good Bill out on the trail. And keep the bad Bill contained. I think, as I said, that's going to be the biggest management challenge.
I love that. Good Bill, bad Bill. I love that.